Alright, we're back again with Discord pings in the background. This time with Fallschirmjägers versus US Infantry. Again, July 1943. Standard modifiers and all that. What? Okay, I got shadows off for some reason. Yeah. So Fallschirmjägers, standard squad is 12 men, 3 fire teams. You can see a very high weight of semi-automatic weapons, 3 MP40s, 2 MG42s. Those who know their stuff will notice that that is much higher level of automatic weaponry compared to like a regular German squad, which traditionally only has a third of the MP40s. And you know, if you're a Panzer Grenadier, you might have 2, but I mean, Grenadier squad's 1. You know, anyways, 2 MGs, significant amount of firepower. Things that we will notice though is that that out of 2 men in the squad, the assistant MG gunners only get pistols, and that is a drawback. That's a limitation of their squad. So even though they have technically 12 men, they really only have 10 men effective at putting like bullets down range, you know, past little pea shooter range, and even then 3 of those are MP40s, and they're really not going to do anything past 100 meters. And as you notice, this engagement should be at about 300, specifically 296. I'd at those 4 different meters will do a lot of difference. Heavy weapons, MG Lafettes. Each platoon, noticeably each platoon, 3 squads in a platoon, by the way. You've got your 2 IC team, which is 3-man, 4-man rifle platoon HQ. I'm just like losing my ability to speak words right now. That just gives it a little bit more redundancy in terms of platoon leadership, so that, you know, if somebody gets shot in the head, it doesn't instantly break cohesion for the entire platoon. Notably, each platoon gets their own 81mm mortar, which is very nice. The Americans later on will get their own 60mm mortars, but not right at this stage. So that's something the Germans have over the Americans at this point in the war. Oh, Beretta M38, flashbang. Look at this guy. Anyways, yeah. One other thing to note is that they all have very good leaders. Got like +2s, +1s, veteran or crack experience, high or extreme morale. This guy's a regular. Most of them are veteran or crack. So these guys will be putting out some extremely effective fires, but I think at this 300-meter range they might struggle to actually use their automatic weapons because they're MGs compared to the American squad, which will have Garands. I'm sure you've already seen this part too. American squad, 12 men, mostly Garands, a couple of GLs on Springfields. Yeah, everything we've seen before. Yeah, 3 squads, no 2 IC, no platoon mortar. They do have 3 company mortars, which sort of makes up for it, but still not as many mortars as the Germans. We'll just make sure to deploy these 30 cals real quick, just to not unbalance the scenario. Yep. Okay, looks about right. 300-meter engagement range, standard modifiers. Let's rock and roll, see how it works. We're just gonna watch this first turn real quick. Germans immediately start putting out effective fires. Germans are taking some casualties. Okay, Americans are getting out much more effective fires. I'm not really seeing the MP40s open up, so I think it's just the MG42s versus all of the Garands. And I think the Garands are winning pretty heavily right now. If you look at a squad, again, I accidentally turned shadows off. Yeah, pretty much the MP40s aren't really doing anything, which is where a lot of the fearsome part. Oh, that might have been the HQ unit. Just took a man. But they're still getting some effective fires out, and that's probably due to their high veterancy level to be able to put accurate fire out at this range, even though they have less fire, it's accurate. We'll take a look at Luftwaffe casualties here. We just sort of already saw the turn, so I'm going to skip ahead. 1 man, 1 man, 2 men. Okay, we're at 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yeah, I think the Americans are winning here. 14. Yeah, 14 men. So we're just going to skip ahead again. So we are actually going to watch this last minute because I sort of noticed something interesting. That we got an entire American platoon that's starting to break and run. That a lot of the Americans on the line are just pinned at this point. Oh, and the looks like the Jeep's caught on fire. So, watching this last minute, it looks like the Germans have actually eked out a win here at range. It looks like the Americans are just pinned, and I think the higher veterancy and morale levels have really won it for the Germans. That the Americans just can't seem to shake off their suppression and get fire out. And the Germans are, yeah, they're pretty much all in line. Nobody's cowering or anything. They're putting out work, right? And yeah, they're getting casualties off still. It's tough. Yeah, the Americans are routing. This guy only lost one man, and they're panicked. Unresponsive. These guys lost 6, and they're still responding to orders. So yeah, that's pretty severe. Let's see it from the German side here. I gotta speed this up, otherwise it's gonna take about a bazillion years to buffer. As German squad took like 50% casualties, and they're still in the fight, buddy-aiding. That squad really got chillaxed, but the rest of these guys seem to be pretty good here. This medium mortar HQ is just a single man. Interesting. He doesn't have a radio, no. I just want to say, notice, it's pretty cool, rank insignia. Anyways, I'm geeking out. 2 men. Yeah. Not many losses on the German side, definitely compared to the Americans. So, yeah, the Germans have actually eked out a win here, if you can believe it. I really thought the Americans would start leading these guys, but I guess the veterancy in the mortars, you really can't beat them. And I wasn't even targeting the mortars very heavily. Like, some of the mortars didn't even fire off rounds. But I guess those that did were very effective. So if we cease fire here, yeah, we can see that Americans have lost about, I don't know, a little under 60. The Luftwaffe has lost 25. About a little over a 2-to-1 KDR in favor of the Germans. U.S. Army started with 160. Luftwaffe started with a little bit more. So percentage-wise, it's even worse in the Luftwaffe's favor. A little bit more men, so they can absorb more loss, and then they even had less loss than the U.S. Army, which had more loss. You know how that works. So yeah, it looks like a 2-to-1, 3-to-1 KDR, depending on how you look at it percentage-wise. Again, rough estimate, not exactly 100% accurate. Yeah, that was I was not really expecting that result for this test. Alright, and we're back again with the same exact scenario, same exact layout, just again at 100 meters instead of 300 meters. Really don't know how this one will pan out either. I am leaning towards the Fallschirmjägers because their MP40s will actually be able to do something now. So if anything, I think it'll probably be a German wipe, but at the same time, they might find it difficult to use their mortars at such a close range. They might get focused down by the less experienced but maybe heavier firepower of the Americans, because as the old saying goes, range negates experience, because you know it takes less and less experience to hit a closer and closer target. So they also might be on the receiving end of more accurate fire, and that might be enough to tip the scales in the Americans' favor. And you really don't know, but right now, I think my verdict would probably be Fallschirmjäger. So we'll just see what it is. And yeah, I think it's leaning towards Fallschirmjägers. Yeah. Yeah, that's a lot of flashing icons. And then immediately, like, everybody on both sides starts getting, like, pinned the hell out and just starts proning. Germans are trying to drop mortars. The Americans trying to drop mortars. Nope, Germans won. Instantly fire superiority, yeah. Their entire line's back on and the Americans are all pinned. It's not even close. It's pretty much been decided already. Yeah, the Americans are proned out and the Germans are still on the firing line. So that extra morale, it doesn't cost a lot of points in the editor, but man oh man does it do a whole lot towards, you know, combat effectiveness. You already got a squad running away with 50% casualties. We're just going to run it forward 4 minutes and see what happens. Spoiler alert, I think we can guess what happens. And now we're in the last minute, and yeah, that's it. The entire American company is effectively gone. They've got less than 10 men left on the field. That was brutal. That was, oh my god. Oh my god. Yeah. As you can see, about half the company was just killed trying to run away. They broke and ran and got shot in the back, which is pretty standard. Only this single guy from the company HQ, who's a veteran, is, you know, sort of staying behind the wall and not turning tail and running. It's keeping him alive right now. Yeah, that's it. That's... I don't even need a ceasefire for a verdict on this one, man. It's like 160 losses to, like, I don't know, maybe 10 to 20. It's not even fair. Not even fair. I don't need to save this. Don't need it. Do not surrender. Ceasefire. Nope. Keep the ceasefire going, and you will also ceasefire. Americans have 4 men left. Yeah, like nothing. And the Germans have 24 losses. It's not even close. I don't even have to do off the top of my head percentages. Like, we can see what happened. So there you have it. Italian army or Fallschirmjägers? Italian army or Fallschirmjägers? It's really not a hard choice. Yeah, this is not even my own personal bias. This is, boom, backed up by facts and data, even if it's a single trial experiment. My point stands. Down with the pasta munchers, man. Down with the pasta munchers.